Yo, what's good, family? It's your girl Bella, and I'm back up in this piece. Man, what an adventure. So I'm finally back. I had some problems with my internet last time we left off, so I thought it was a cable. But finally got it taken care of. I'm happy that I did. So I'm back on Black Cultures Lit TV. This is going to be the TGIF edition, and we ain't going to overthink today. We're going to pull up some receipts. We're going to talk real. We're going to laugh a little bit. We're going to show why Black culture is lit. So grab your drink, get comfy, hit that comment box, and let's vibe out. So, welcome back. Yeah, I have been tripping off of these things that's been happening in the media. And, I can't talk about everything, but we're going to try to fit in some of the, the popular gossip, I guess, the culture event. So the first one up is NLE Chopper versus NBA YoungBoy. And I'm going to tell you right now, this is out of my generation. I'm Gen X, and I am so proud to be Gen X, especially after the No Limit versus Cash Money. So, NLE Chopper made a diss track to NBA YoungBoy called KO, Knockout, I guess. So, um, in the article, which you see on the screen, NBA YoungBoy appears to diss NLE Chopper on Know Like I Know. And of course, I can't play the songs because, YouTube strikes you. So you can also go and listen to that and come back. But just let me give you the gift of what happened, right? So NLE Chopper openly said he's the hottest youngin since YB in 2022. NBA YoungBoy track Know Like I Know dropped subliminal shots at Chopper, and that's NLE Chopper. So here's where a lot of black mothers come in, right? Because I don't know how old these kids are. Well, they're really not. These young men are. I don't know. But I'm going to assume they're like in their 20s, right? In their 20s, maybe. Right? Instead of allowing these guys to handle their business, in NBA YoungBoy mother responds, I find that odd. I find that very odd. I think we really need to talk about how black mothers must hold their sons responsible. Over the years, and I'm Gen X, and I know what's going on. NBA YoungBoy has been verbally abusive to women. I think he actually hit or physically abused a few of his baby mothers. But the mother in NBA YoungBoy mother, this is what she responded. She said, "I would be upset if this was coming from someone who matters, like someone people actually listen in clown faces, like someone who is not in the closet, right?" She said, "The difference between you and NBA YoungBoy is you went bald and only you call yourself Tupac. Meanwhile, YoungBoy is genuinely himself and people call him Tupac." Oh my God. Are these young kids crazy? Who who is calling them Tupac? I know not Gen X. You know, Gen X is so offended, and I'm sorry to the rest of my Gen Xers. I don't think she understands. So I already made a video, and that's another thing too, you guys. Go follow me on TikTok where you can get more. Um, what is? I got a brain fog. You get more videos from me. Um, I am getting in the routine of putting things on TikTok. I mean, on YouTube. I'm on so many social medias. YouTube is like the last thing that I got on. YouTube, me and YouTube is just. Whew. So let's listen to what I had to say.
We don't talk about enough how a lot of us, black mothers, pacify our sons. I see it all the time. You know, this little nigga YB, he been out here wild and being disrespectful, manipulative, even abusive to women, to his fans. Have y'all saw how he talked to his fans? But instead of correcting this motherfucker, she gets on here and try to protect him. Not my baby energy bullshit. Sis, that's not love. That is enabling. Unfortunately, he's already an adult and he's already have grown up. So he's going to have this behavior, which has already turned into emotional abuse, arrogance, and broken relationships. He out here hurting his hurting people, women, fans, and you covering for him. Now that he's successful, to me, this response is like you're acting like that's your man and not your son. You feed the ego, but never feed accountability. And let's be real. Some of these men toxic traits start right at home with a mama who confused protection with pacifying. So I don't find this shit cute, this comeback. We got to break the cycle. You can love your son enough to correct him because what you don't check now, and it may be too late because he's an adult, like I said, the world will later. And it won't be gentle. And I'm going to keep it real with you. I don't like your motherfucking son. He's disrespectful. And if you ever see this video and try to come for me, girl, fuck you.
Yeah, so that was my message for this morning. You see how I went back to sounding innocent? Because somebody needs to say it. Like you're egging this on, and that's why he behaves the way he behaves. So I want to ask y'all a question: when hip hop beef goes serious, does that harm the culture or build it? And what's the cost to the black community? Because from what I see, a lot of young boy fans, they don't think he can do no wrong. I mean, even though this man has outlandish behavior, they do. Even the fans don't hold him responsible. Nobody's holding this young man responsible. So y'all know in hip hop land, when two rappers beef, it's like Thanksgiving dinner turned WWE, and nobody invited mom, but she still got to intervene. So that's one of the things that I hope that we could, talk about in our community. So let's move on, y'all. Now, this is crazy, y'all. So apparently, two. Hold on. Yeah, apparently 3 African men were caught at the border. Oh, I already had up. God dang it. My bad. So, 3 African men were dressed like Arabian women. And also, y'all, the Jamaicans are flexing on Black Americans that's down there vacationing since the Hurricane Melissa. I think it's Hurricane Melissa. It's always after a woman because we raise hell, I guess. But it's been a viral clip going around. This is the clip. Um, that 3 African men were caught in makeup, dressed like Arabian women for freedom, for apartheid, for whatever. But it's kind of sad because look at the length that people will go, to get freedom, for refuge, for a better life. But that makeover, dog, Stevie Wonder could have saw y'all coming. Ray Charles could have saw y'all coming there. We need to talk about what it says about their identity, their survival, and their image because it seems like Africans are all over the place. And I just want to show you something that I came across that shocked me because I didn't know that this was going on. Okay, enough. You get my point. But here's a spin to this, you guys. So apparently, on the flip side of the diaspora, the Jamaicans are tripping on us. They are over in Jamaica making videos in the mix, talking to the Black Americans like, don't come back here. Yeah. I've seen videos of Black women thanking them for keeping them safe during the hurricane. Mixed signals much? But look at how, and oh, wait a minute, because I'm not telling the full story. Let me get my visuals because sometimes you just can't, I don't want to miss anything. But it's a trip how people wait until the things that they want to say, right? The things that they want to say to you, it's amazing how they wait until it's the right time for them to tell how they really feel. So I found the video because why do all the research when somebody else already did it, right? Work smarter, not harder. So here's a video, and make sure you follow these people when I put their videos up and you see their little tag. Make sure you follow them. I know I'll be missing it sometimes, but hey.
Yeah, I wasn't going to talk about what's going on in Jamaica and all of this stuff that's going on with them, assuming that we're being disrespectful to them whenever you finding out that it's not even us that's being disrespectful in Jamaica. Y'all was just waiting on your chance to talk some shit. That's why we are delineating. That is exactly why you come on my page and you hear me speak the way that I do. We have no allies, Black American people. We tried that with a whole accent was a Black American by Jamaican people. They even showing pictures of her, calling her fat and all of this stuff like that, disrespecting that woman because they thought she was one of us. And nobody has anything to say about how they found out that woman is a Bermuda woman and not from not from America, Black America. Y'all found out that she not from there, and that there are many, many videos of Black American people thanking y'all for how y'all are treating them during the hurricane.
Okay, y'all.
We
It
see.
is the morning after the hurricane, and we just want to walk around and thank all the staff at the Deja Resort, y'all. When I say they took care of us, they took care of us for real, like nothing. We want to hug and say thank you for taking care of us during the storm. We gonna let y'all know. What's your name? Ashley. Thank you. We're telling him thank you for taking care of us during the storm, y'all. Hey guys. They was coming to our room. We're safe in his arms. The chef, y'all. Thank you to them for still cooking for us during this storm, y'all. Yeah. It was so good. Thank you. Our hard work during this is Sophia, guys. Thank you for taking care of us during this hurricane. Thank you. So good. And they were still cooking for us during the hurricane. Thank you, Chef. No sack lunches over here at Deja Resort. They still cook for us during the hurricane.
You know that we've had so many hurricanes here that's wiped away our people. Hurricane Betsy, Hurricane Harvey, Katrina. We've had hundreds of different things that happen to Black people in this country. Our towns flooded out, businesses burnt to the ground. We were even bombed. Like they dropped bombs on us. Yeah. In like Baltimore or something in the 80s.
Philadelphia.
So it's crazy that y'all were like, oh, y'all don't give a fuck what's going on with us. Whenever we was worried, we were online worried. People were worried. And y'all are in there. I'm going to even show y'all one of the comments. They were like, don't worry about us. Why the fuck are y'all worried about us? You need to worry about your Black American business. And we show the hell will.
Yes.
We show the hell will.
Yes, we will.
We show the hell will. Because if that's how y'all really feel, then that's what we going to do. Because it's just too much disrespect here. It's just too much disrespect. And there's a lot of Jamaicans that are sitting right here in America talking about this stuff. And you're more focused on this so-called, this delusional disrespect that Black Americans are giving y'all over there. You're not even worried about your family. You're talking about some, oh, my dad is over there and blah, 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 all this stuff. And then you completely stop talking about him. You said one thing about him. And then the rest of the video is about you and your hate and disdain towards Black Americans. And we're not even the ones that's over there disrespecting y'all. So, you know, there might be a few people over there that's complaining because they're trapped in their hotel rooms, because if you're in a hotel room, you're not going to be happy about it. So you're not going to sit there and see people happy. If you were trapped in a hotel over here during Hurricane Katrina, I'm sure you would be upset too if you was Jamaican stuck in Katrina, which I'm sure that there was a lot of Caribbean people that was caught up in Katrina. Y'all think that there's not any Caribbean or African-based groups that are living in Louisiana? Okay, so, you know, it's just like, that's why we say what we say. And that's why we say that you're not like us. And that's why we tell y'all, you can't call yourself no Black American. You can't be calling yourself us and all this stuff. As soon as y'all get over here, y'all claiming that y'all this, and you give up your whole identity, you give up everything, and you start acting like us. And as soon as something happens over in one of your countries, and you see that we're not jumping, you know what I'm saying, jumping out of our motherfucking chairs to go and protest and all this stuff like that, y'all mad. It's just like, I didn't see any Caribbeans or African people talking about any of the people that's getting lynched, any of the Black Americans that's being lynched, any of the Black American issues that's happening, such as them taking away our voting rights in the South out here. I don't see y'all talking about a motherfucking Black American issue. I'm seeing children of immigrants online going and knocking on Black American doors and telling us that we need to care more about immigration. But then whenever we ask y'all, do you care about Black American issues, you get mad and you start attacking us. So that's why we're like,
But y'all want, all right, so y'all want people to have sympathy for y'all. Yeah, because I'm trying to have a conversation. You're dismissing me, but you want people to care about immigration rights, right? I'm trying to have a conversation, but you're dismissing me. But you want to have conversations about immigration rights. All right, that's crazy. That's cool. That's cool. Y'all want to knock on people's doors and talk about immigration rights, but y'all don't want to have conversations with foundational Black Americans, with Black Americans. That's crazy. That's crazy. Y'all know how crazy that sounds? To come up to people doing.
Why should we give a fuck if you don't give a fuck? That's exactly why I am in school getting my PhD to become a psychologist to help the trauma in the Black American community. Because we have a lot of trauma and we're getting it from all ends, from everybody, even the people we helped come here and migrate over here. We helped you come over here and you disrespectful? It's just like, damn. It's just like, damn. But now they're over here talking on TV. You got the TV personality dude, whatever his name is, I forgot his name. Bill Miller or whatever. I forgot his name. But he's talking about, oh, they're looking for Black people in the crowds at the No Kings protest, and they couldn't find any. They said it was very difficult to find Black people to take photos of. Why the fuck are you trying to find us? Why would y'all think that we would be out there? We did what we were supposed to do in November, and y'all chose to vote against it and push back. So we're not coming out there. You're not.
So that's the gist of it, y'all. But go follow this content creator, Savanique Divine, Savanique_Divine. Moving on, because we got a lot to cover. You know, it's so much going on, and look how long I've been gone. So, who's next up? Oh my God, y'all! Did y'all see the verses? Because I actually made a video about it. But you know, that's my generation, right? And that's another thing that I want to talk about. How can I put this? How can I say this? Oh, I'm trying to think of a nice way to say this. Okay. Let me tell y'all something real quick. Especially, I think it's Gen Z, especially the millennials. See, before hip hop became all glitz and Grammys, it was a war, a lyrical war, a cultural war. It was survival in the 90s. So we can't allow y'all to take that from us because we survived the war. So if you wasn't a soldier, you probably could have ended up on crack. You could have ended up selling your body from smoking crack or from drinking, people slipping stuff in your drinks. It was so much craziness going on in the 90s, from SA to graping, all that stuff, disrespect. So back in the day, when we heard No Limit or Cash Money, it was a whole movement, y'all. But even in that moment, the women, the real ones like Mia X, had to fight just to be respected. So we can't let y'all take this from us. This is our music. This is Gen X music. Okay? We were surrounded by men dropping diss records left and right, calling us all kind of names, bitches, hoes, sluts, just reckless with it. And you know what Mia X said? She said, all right, bet. she started speaking for all of us. So it's only right. Dang, I wish I could play music. It's all right. I'm still going to play my videos I made. Because I want to give her her respect, y'all. Because I was one of the ones who kept her music alive. I'm telling you. I bumped her music. So let's listen. Where's part one? Okay, so let's listen to Nia X. Oh, let me make sure I said everything I needed to say. So Nia X picked up this pen. She already had been rapping, but I'm gonna let her tell her own story. So anyway, she dropped this disc record, and that's that Gen X energy. We Gen X women, we never waited for permission to clap back. See, y'all gotta. This was early days of the game. There was no female empowerment globally. Queen Latifah tried it, but it just wasn't enough to withstand the men that was in hip hop. So if you wanted respect, you had to earn it bar for bar, stage for stage. That's just how it was. So all this gimmicky rap that's going well, a few, not really. I don't want to say her name because I don't want to beef with the Barbs. But all that type of rap, man, that's commercial shit. Straight up. I ain't gonna even lie. I ain't even hold y'all up. She wouldn't have survived in the 90s. Not with all that gimmicky rap. No. But Mia X held it down at the verses, y'all. No Limit versus Cash Money. It was amazing. It was for the culture. It was for Gen X. I don't care what nobody said. That was our verses. That was for us. Mia X represented as a female rapper in a male-dominated label war. She held that tank down for the ladies. Just like Mia had to fight for respect in hip hop, Black women today are fighting in the workplace for respect and security. We're unemployed. We have the highest unemployment population right now, y'all. I think it's 36%. It's high since Trump. Yeah. So just like Mia X had resilience, it ain't stopped because look here. Let me play something for you. Hey, what's up with my internet?
You know, the recipes, we're gonna get to that in a second. The day you meet Master P, you know, which set forth a trajectory that, you know, probably changed the rest of your life.
Yes.
How did you get his attention?
Okay.
And what
And I did try to do a spell check, y'all, but TikTok won't correct it. So I just want y'all to know that because they've been making comments.
did it?
I dropped a record in 1992 called The Payback. It was a diss record because the boys in New Orleans, they were making all of these records. It was Cash Money, and it was the Big Boy. It was Take 4 Records. All of the guys on these labels was dropping these records. The Godfathers of Bounce Tucker and Herb, and they were calling us all kind of names. So I made this record. So the record was at like maybe 28,000 when Master P came back home for a visit. Because in New Orleans we didn't really know him. You know, we had never.
Because at this point he's on the West Coast, right?
He's on the West Coast, and yeah, we didn't know him, but he came. I was working at Peaches Records in a record store.
Okay, I'm up on that.
He came to Peaches. Yes, the oldest mom and pops in America.
They still there, right?
That's right.
That's beautiful.
So he was looking for a lady rapper to join TRU, the rap group. and everybody was telling him, you have to hear Mia X. So I had clocked out and went home. Scarface was having a concert. I went to wash and set my hair so I could go to the concert. Master P came to my house. I was under the dryer. And he was talking to me from the dryer saying, you know, yo, my label is going to be like the biggest in the world. And I'm under the dryer and I'm like, my hair is so thick, it's going to take forever to dry. But how long you in town? He's like, I'm here. So I'm like, well, tomorrow, let's link up. Everything P said, I felt truth in it. I felt that he was going to do something that was going to shake hip hop up. You could just feel it coming off him. I don't know if it was the vibe, the drive. I had a couple of labels after me at the time, but it was something about the way he said, I'm about to change this thing. So we linked up. We went in the studio. I did a couple of ad libs for him on his 99 Ways to Die album. And then he was like, you need to come out to California, you know, and we need to work. So that's what we did. Yeah. But I was pretty popular all over the South by the time I met Master P. I was already doing shows in Texas and in Florida. You know, I had already put my foot all the way down in hip hop. So coming to No Limit, it was a win-win for both of us because we both had this drive to make the label grow. And when I got to LA, he was like, now let's go to Richmond. We go to Richmond. We meet all these producers. I did some records, and then I was like, listen, I'm South. You got to let me go get you some producers
some
so
bounce.
That I could really do me. We need KL. And so then he met KL and Bout It was born.
Now, KL, was he part of the Medicine Men?
Yes.
Yo, the Medicine Men.
They were beats by the pound first.
Right. Okay, so beats by the pound, that starts coming together. And, yo, like, sonically, what y'all were doing production-wise was crazy because, like, you know, it had a Southern sound to it. If you remove the vocals, it could be any coast. It was so straight down the middle. But y'all were telling y'all stories and doing y'all thing and won the whole world over. And, like, to be in the perspective that I was in, I was working for a record company at the time. So I'm in the retail stores. Every time No Limit would drop anything, it was coming off the racks, like, right away. They didn't even know who the artists were. It's like Cain and Abel. Okay, sure. This looks like it has a pen and pixel cover. Gotta be No Limit.
That's
we'll take
right.
it. There's kid, everything. Moby Dick. What was the one girl who, like, I don't think her album ever came out?
Well, her album actually did come out.
Mercedes.
But it was promoted like 3 years, and they were going crazy over the album cover. Shout out to Mercedes because she's still working too. Yeah. Like I said, when he said he was going to change the game, I felt truth in that. That part right there, you just felt it. And so being a lady like a mama.
You know, the recipes, we're going to get to that in a second.
Wow. That's Mama Mia right there. It's two parts I have, but let's go ahead and, hey, why I can't, well, come on, let me go down. What in the world? Okay, guess I gotta do it like this. Yeah. I don't know. This internet is tripping. So anyway, y'all, that didn't work. Moving along, because it's not gonna allow me to. Oh, here it goes. Oh no, it's not gonna allow me to go down. I don't know what's going on with my internet, man. So anyway, I wanted to play some verses, but with TikTok, with YouTube, I'm not gonna be able to anyway. So let's just keep it moving. Whatever. So let's keep it moving. It's a little visual, but it's not the actual. It's not the actual. So this was Mia X the night of the verses, and she did really good. She did really really good. She really represented. She actually stole the whole show. Yeah, stole the whole thing, all of it. She really did. It was amazing. It was amazing. She represented. You heard me? She really did. So let's keep it moving. Um, so the last thing that I wanted to talk about was these two right here. Because I can tell y'all, there's a lot of us tired of them. Where'd it go? Oh, there it go. Who is tired of Claressa Shields and Laila Ali? Who's tired? Because there's a lot of us who's tired. Either you're gonna fight or you're not gonna fight Layla. It's real simple. It's very simple. So I don't know if you've been keeping up with these two, but Claressa Shields, she secured about 15 million for the fight versus Laila Ali. And that was maybe what 2 months ago. She secured the 15 million. She had the investors. It's actually a video of Layla responding to all of this. Let me see. Oh, hold on, I got it. So, where is she? And it's really stupid, y'all, because either you fight or you're not gonna fight Layla. Nobody wants to go through all that. So Layla made this everlasting video responding to Claressa Shields after the fact. What, it's been 3 months, I believe, since Claressa asked her for the fight and she held up the check. And here's my thing. As a boxer, a lot of people are on Claressa head, right? But as a boxer, this is what it takes. You have to talk shit. You have to do all these theatrics to get the fight. So I don't think Claressa is disrespecting Layla. It's a part of the game. So what do you mean? It was a call out. Shields to Ali. Money on the table. Legend versus next gen. Is you fighting or nah, Layla? Because in culture and in life, do we speak loud or back it up? I got a question, y'all. When our women step up in arenas meant for men, do we cheer or do we still ask them to play nice? No. You a boxer, Layla. Yes, you are of age. But I'm just gonna let her talk because I don't understand. To me, she's ducking smoke because you ducking Wolf. Now you ducking Claressa. Either you're gonna fight or you're not. So let's hear what Layla had to say because she feels like Claressa is
WBC champion, like my father and so many greats, was an accomplishment that I will always be proud of. Every female fighter who wins a WBC title.
Okay, hold on. I think we're missing the story. Let me rewind. Hold on, because I think that was after the fact. Oh, see, that's part 2. Where is part 1? It's just too much. But this is what it takes to build up the momentum. So I think it's a script, y'all. I think they just bullshitting. And I think this is how they're gonna get the momentum up, to be honest with you. Hold on. Because we gotta go part 1 because it's actually 2 parts. Is this it?
So, did her plan? Did she make me mad enough to come out of retirement after 18 years and start training again to make her dream of fighting me and having a big payday courtesy of Laila Ali come true? Absolutely not. After blatant lies and vile disrespect, making unsolicited negative remarks about me, questioning the legitimacy of my boxing legacy, and having the audacity to cross the line by disrespecting my deceased father, trying to use his name to discredit his daughter. Boxing is in my DNA, and it will always be my first love. Now, after all this she's put me through, I would never partner or collaborate with her on anything. Now, I've seen some comments from people saying, she's been so quiet, ever since I put out part 1. Maybe she's finally going to take some responsibility and try to do better. But in reality, she's been running her same predictable playbook, misleading and deceiving the public.
Yeah, we gotta find part 1. Oh, I think this is it.
There's been a whole lot of talk about the possibility of me making a comeback to boxing. And people have had a lot to say, but I have not addressed it until now. And I know everyone wants to know the answer to the question, will I be coming back? I promise you, I'm gonna give you that answer. But first, I have got to address the lies and the fake narrative that's been created years ago. Now, someone's gotten way too comfortable.
Hold on, y'all, this music, I might get copywritten.
Now, as you can see, I was genuinely rooting for her. I gave her praise. I gave her a spotlight. When she advice, I gave her valuable branding advice and boxing advice so she could have long-term success.
Why is it so hard to find the whole damn thing?
There's been a whole lot of talk about the possibility of me making a comeback to boxing. And people have had a lot to say, but I have not addressed it until now. And I know everyone wants to know the answer to the question, will I be coming back? And I promise you, I'm going to give you that answer. But first, I have got to address the lies and the fake narrative years ago. Now, someone's gotten way too comfortable dragging my name and even using my father's name to get attention and clout. Now, in case you haven't heard it, her story is that I didn't support her and I didn't pass the torch because of my jealousy and envy over her accomplishments in boxing. She says that I disrespected her and I started talking about knocking her out simply because I was bitter that she's outdone me. I've seen a lot of the comments. Many of you have good discernment and understand what's really going on here, while others have believed her lies over the years or have formed an opinion without having all the facts. Now, originally, I wasn't even going to give this my time or attention because I really don't engage with people who thrive off of negativity, drama, and buffoonery. But I'm not about to let someone with bad character continue running freely, dragging my name without accountability.
That's not going to happen.
Come on now, listen. Laila Ali is just Muhammad Ali's daughter. And
no, come on, we ain't going to do that.
No, that is right.
Come on, Laila can rumble and go.
And Wolf would have knocked Laila Ali out. She would have knocked Laila oh so pretty ass out.
So this right here is the consequence. Now, I have been busy working on other projects that required all of my time and focus, which is why I'm just now saying something. But honey, I have made the time to address this. So today, the bad guy ain't getting away. Now let's hit rewind because we really need to see what's happened over the years, what got us here. Now, I'm not about to do the whole he say, she say thing, so let me show you some receipts. I first met her in 2012 when she was invited on stage to stand next to me when I gave my father his Liberty Medal. At some point, she reached out, started asking me for advice, wanted to know if she should go to the Olympics the second time or go pro. She would also call me and let me know when she was fighting. Now, at the time, I was one of the hosts of We Need to Talk, an all-female sports commentary show that still airs on CBS. I asked the producers if we could do a story on her. They agreed. So I got on a plane, flew to Colorado, and did a full sit-down interview with her. Now, this is just a shortened version of the 6-minute piece that aired on CBS in 2016. "21-year-old Claressa Shields is as confident as her right hand is powerful. Soon, Claressa will be heading to Rio for the Olympics to try and do something that has never been done before. I sat down to talk with her about changing history and being a positive spark for her hometown. You should have heard the story by now. The one about a kid from Flint, Michigan who has gone toe-to-toe with adversity and stands undefeated.
But I'll always go back to Flint and help.
I know that when I was fighting, any of my struggles that I had to overcome, or anything that I was upset about, whether it be something personal or something going on in the world, I would use that anger, and take it into the ring with me and channel that energy into the ring. Have you ever done that?
I did that a lot. I was going through stuff back at home, but I would have a boxing match and I would take out everything I was going through on the girl, and that kind of helped me because after I boxed, that was my ultimate high, and I felt like my life was perfect for at least 2 weeks. So
Claressa's father, a former underground fighter, was passionate about boxing.
he went on to tell me that Muhammad Ali's daughter, Laila, took after him. And he's like, and my dad, he says it to this day, Layla's a bad girl. He says it all the time. He said nobody in our family took up boxing. I thought when he told me that, he was telling me to take after him. Claressa beat the odds to win gold in 2012. When the Olympics start in August, she'll try to be the first American boxer to win back-to-back gold medals. Everybody's going to be fighting you harder. Everybody's going to be trying to elevate their game. They're going to be running harder. They're going to be training harder. They're going to be dreaming about beating you. How are you preparing for that mentally and physically? Honestly, I've learned how to beat every fighting style. Tall girls, short girls, girls my size. Because I'm like, I'm pretty good. I'm pretty great, I don't know what I would do. You're supposed to feel that way about yourself. Like you wouldn't have been able to get to this level if you didn't feel that way about yourself. Yes. I don't know about you ladies, but I have absolutely no doubt that Claressa is going to win gold again in the Olympics. Women's boxing wasn't even in the Olympics when I was boxing, so I'm like, do it for us, because she's in the weight class I would have been in. So I'm like, go get it, girl, go get it. There's a lot of women who've been training for a long time, and nobody knows who they are. So the Olympics just really gives them a platform and something to strive towards. I didn't even fight amateur because I was like, I can't go to the Olympics. Why should I do that? I wanted to be in control of my career, but it's so great to see these young girls coming up. You got 9-year-olds now and 10-year-olds, and they're inspired by people like Claressa. Now, as you can see, I was genuinely rooting for her. I gave her praise. I gave her a spotlight. When she asked for advice, I gave her valuable branding advice and boxing advice so she could have long-term success in and outside of the ring. I told her about the challenges that I faced fighting at 168, where there was limited competition, and I suggested that if she decided to turn pro, she should consider going down in weight somewhere around 148, where she would have more competitive challenges. I told her she should hire a nutritionist, trim off that excess body fat, and get into elite next level shape. I pointed her in the right direction, and I had high hopes for her. Whether she decided to turn pro or not, I felt like her future was bright if she played her cards right. But of course, at the time, I was not her divisive, vindictive, and malicious nature. And I know those are strong words, but they actually fit. This girl has created a pattern. It's been directed towards many people time and time again. Now, before we started our interview in Colorado, she said to me, "You're the name people say when it comes to women's boxing. You're the face they know. I want that to be me." Now, looking back after everything that's unfolded, it seems pretty calculated now. Like she was waiting for the right moment, the right excuse to finally do what she'd already made up her mind to do. I mean, that's how it feels now. She told me she saw me as the face of women's boxing, and she told me that she wanted my spot. And she's been on a mission to
Ruined my reputation ever since simply because she heard me make a comment that was not about her and she took it personal. Fast forward to 2018, I was promoting my cookbook, Food for Life, and went on The Breakfast Club, a national show with millions of listeners. I did a 36-minute interview, and when the topic of boxing came up, I actually mentioned her and made positive comments. Then much later into the interview, I was asked about the possibility of a comeback.
Would you ever get back in the ring just for fun?
You still train?
I stay training.
Got you.
Yeah, I got a little baby six-pack right now.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I have a heavy bag hanging in my. I just turned 40.
Wow.
Can you believe it?
No.
I know. I just turned 40. I can't believe it either. And because I think of my healthy lifestyle, the fact that I train all the time, I can pretty much do anything I wanted to. Well, I don't think there's anyone there for me right now that would actually give me a good challenge.
How did you and your husband argue? Because he can't, usually you can say something slick, but with you can't say that slickness.
You was on the Food Network's Chopped.
Yes.
And you won.
I did a couple times.
So what brings you more joy, winning in the ring or winning in the kitchen?
I just like to win, period. Definitely boxing is my first love, and, cooking is something that I'm super passionate about.
Gotcha.
It'll be a part of my life forever. I'm not somebody who sits back and complains about things. I think everything happens in due time. You got Claressa Shields now, who's an Olympic champion. She's a young black girl, came out of Flint, Michigan, lived a hard life, went through a lot. She went to the Olympics, won twice. Women's boxing wasn't in the Olympics when I fought. She actually fights at the weight class I fought in. And she's doing great. Women's boxing is getting some good attention.
Now remember, at the time, we were on good terms. She was reaching out to me and referring to me as Big Sis. But this was her response.
I watched the Breakfast Club video with Laila Ali. I have so much respect for her, and I like her. I actually call her my big sis, but it was so many shots thrown. Like, if y'all really paid attention, her saying, oh, there's not nobody good enough at 168, my weight class, that could give her a challenge when I'm the number one in my weight class. And, I'm just like, nah. And, I just feel like, she gave props where it's due, but, she also spoke on how, what I'm doing for women's boxing is great, but it's not great enough for her. And it's like, we got two different goals and sets in life. Me winning 2 Olympic gold medals is just the beginning. Even when she was boxing, she never fought on Showtime, HBO. I fought the main event on Showtime. I don't know how many times now. Fastest woman to win a world title. I did it in 4 fights. And yeah, you can say, oh, the competition isn't there and this girl wasn't that. But like I did it up in 4 fights, and the girls that Laila Ali fought wasn't, that great either. I mean, like, I'm the best female boxer that I've ever seen, and if Laila Ali wants to come back, we can rumble, we can go. This is not like, oh, I'm gonna step away. Like I respect her and everything, but you're not gonna come back and beat me. You know what I'm saying? Like, this can happen. I just don't like the disrespect. And this is my last video too about this. I never used her name to try to be like, try to call her out of retirement. It's basically like she talking about she come out of retirement, she just gonna beat me if she decided to.
Now, of course, I didn't respond to this, but I noted it. For someone who hardly had any experience as a professional boxer and who was supposedly looking up to me, for her to think that I would even call her name in a conversation about me fighting or making a comeback was silly to me. Especially since I had literally told her that I retired from boxing because I didn't feel inspired or challenged anymore by the level of competition that was available to me. We had that talk. So I learned a lot about her character and her mindset. She took what I said out of context and made it all about her. I decided I was no longer going to invest time or energy into her. But she, on the other hand, she took it straight to social media, started comparing her boxing skills to mine, making negative comments about me, and pitting herself against me in a fight. A year later, I was doing press for Homemade Simple on OWN, so I went on Sway Universe, another syndicated national show with millions of listeners. We were talking, he asked me about boxing, he asked me about her, I said positive comments as usual, then he plays one of her visits.
Are you watching women's boxing today?
Oh yeah.
You like Claressa?
I do. I think that she's a talented fighter, and she has the opportunity right now. The stage is set, so now she just has to kind of do her thing. I
talk about Homemade Simple, airing Saturdays 9 a.m. on the OWN network. Okay, it's an incredible show. I had Claressa here, right? I asked her who does she think would win and you against you in your prime and her now. And this is what she said.
She not cut like me. She don't take the challenges. Like, she didn't fight against Ann Wolf. I fight against the best and beat the best. And if Laila Ali was to come out of retirement, I beat her too.
That's not anything I haven't heard before. First of all, she's supposed to feel like she's the greatest.
Absolutely.
But just because you think you are doesn't mean you are.
Okay.
I like to support and up.
Y'all, she did duck Ann Wolf. If you don't know who Ann Wolf is, Google her. Because I would have ducked Ann Wolf too.
Lift people, and I think that on your way up, just do your best not to disparage those that have come before you. First of all, she could never beat me.
Okay.
Let me just get that straight right now.
You want to get that straight, Laila?
Let's get that straight right now.
Okay.
And not simply because she's not strong enough, okay, knock her out, but because she's not talented enough to beat me. The sweet science to boxing, the reason why you have not been able to knock out the opponents that you've already faced, I can totally see it. Why? But maybe if you would have been a little more respectful, and I'm not talking about thinking you can beat me and call it that, do all that. I'm talking about just trying to, she didn't do this, she didn't do that.
Yeah.
I don't respect her as a boxer. I only respect her as a businesswoman. I've heard her say that before. I was always there for her because she's a young black girl from Flint, Michigan.
Yeah, Flint.
And I want to help uplift her because that's the Ali way. I am successful in so many areas outside of boxing. Boxing is not what defines me. There's always going to be another girl. But I tell you what, when I offered her to spar me, that definitely was a check right there to see. Let me see what kind of heart she has. You should come whoop me just for bragging rights. And she didn't take me up on that offer. I said, okay. And let's put this in context. I'm only talking about this because you're asking me.
She's done a ton of interviews since then, and she's always saying I disrespected her. Now you've seen what she's been referring to. So she felt justified to go on a tirade, and of course she's twisted the story over the years and taken my comments out of context. Now, according to her, I just started talking about knocking her out, just out of jealousy. Now you've seen what I said, what she said, how this started, and you can see she pitted herself against me in a fight. Now, I know some of this younger generation may not be familiar with me, but I've never been one to just talk about things I can't do. When I said that I would knock her out back in 2019, it wasn't any different than what I've said to anyone who's challenged me in the past. You can go back and look at tape on me. That was not just talk for me. It's what I did. TKO.
Now, Laila ducked Ann Wolf. I can't even watch it no more because she lied. She ducked Ann Wolf. So let's hear what Claressa had to say.
Laila Ali has been losing the fight against me for a very long time, and we all know when you start losing the fight, you go below the belt. I now want to have to respond to this video because I am not into tearing another black woman down. This is just another example of the older hating on the youth. So now I want to come and set the record straight on what really happened, how our beef started, and how we got here today.
Lord, y'all better.
So let's take it back to the beginning. 16-year-old Claressa Shields from Flint, Michigan, fighting her way to the Olympics to represent her country. Now, for those who don't know, around this time, I was relatively unknown. I was a diamond in the rough. Mary Spencer was 3-time world champion. She is from Canada. Me and Mary Spencer met up at the Continental Championships to face off. And oh, did I put a whooping on Mary Spencer. For those who don't know, the World Championships and the amateurs come around every 2 years, where all the countries in the world meet at the World Championships, and you have to fight 5 to 6 days back to back to become world champion and hold a gold medal. Mary Spencer did that 6 years in a row. I, relatively unknown, at the age of 16, beat Mary Spencer on the point system, 17 points to 34. After that, interviews flooded in from all over.
And one of them is boxer Claressa Shields. She just finished her junior year at Flint Northwestern, and while her classmates enjoy summer vacation, she'll be competing in the world's biggest stage.
She has to be one of the potential feel-good stories of the London Games.
American Claressa Shields has the potential to stand out from the crowd. At the age of 17, she was the youngest boxer to try out for the national team. And Shields hopes to qualify for the London Olympics by finishing in the top 8 of the middleweight category in China.
You know, I always have the highest hopes for myself. So she was not the first person to interview me. Me beating Mary Spencer put everybody on notice. the young black girl from Flint was coming. Speaking of all the interviews that I did, Laila Ali came to the Olympic Training Center where I was training for the Olympics at, and me and her developed a big sister and little sister relationship. And now I wonder if it was even genuine because she gave me bad advice. She told me to stay amateur and win as many Olympic gold medals as I can because there was no TV exposure and no money for women's boxing in the professionals.
When she asked for advice, I gave her valuable branding advice and boxing advice so she could have long-term success in and outside of the ring. I told her she should hire a nutritionist, trim off that excess body fat.
That was nothing but her trying to body shame me and discredit me for winning world championships at weight classes in 5 different weight classes, which is 154, 160, 168, 175, and 175 plus. I went against her advice, and I was the first woman to make $1 million in women's boxing. Before this interview on The Breakfast Club with Laila Ali, me and her were very friendly. This is what ignited the entire beef.
You got Claressa Shields now, who's an Olympic champion. She went to the Olympics, won twice. Women's boxing wasn't in the Olympics when I fought. She actually fights at the weight class I fought in. And she's doing great. I mean, you know, it's still not what I would have wanted. I would have wanted more because I have a big picture in my mind. It was great.
Would you ever get back in the ring just for fun, shits and giggles?
Money right, Laila there, and you know, I don't think there's anyone there for me right now that would actually give me a good challenge.
She claims that I took this out of context. And one thing I would say, she wasn't just saying that I wasn't good enough to inspire her and to give her a challenge. She was saying that all the women who were currently boxing could not give her a challenge. The problem is that I am the only one that says something. Now, coincidentally, I'm not the first woman athlete that she's done this to. Let's rewind again and take it back to when Ronda Rousey was the queen of combat sports.
Are you a fan of Ronda Rousey?
I wouldn't say that.
Before it was me, Ronda Rousey was the queen of combat sports. I mean, this girl was armbarring girls in less than 30 seconds. She was viral. She was making hundreds of millions of dollars in her field. When she was on top of her game dominating, Laila Ali became jealous. And instead of her embracing Ronda Rousey,
Claressa got receipts, y'all.
Started during interviews telling everyone how she would beat Ronda in a fight because she was too small and the size of her daughter. Laila Ali.
I ain't gonna lie, y'all. Laila Ali have ducked a lot of fights. And I know y'all, the younger generation, but she has. Part 2. Hold on, let me find it. She had on. How's this music?
So, did her work?
No, I think it's longer. What's up with this music? Y'all got music popping off? Hold on, y'all.
This woman has not been able to bust a grape up until now.
I need the full one. Part 1 part 2. Should I keep?
Everyone knows this woman has not been able to bust a grape up until.
Okay. Let's see. I have to do it like this, y'all. People be so extra.
Do you think Ronda Rousey, would you be able to take Ronda Rousey?
And no woman can beat me, period. No woman. No woman, period.
Not even Ronda?
Of course not. She's too much smaller than me anyway. She's like the size of my daughter, my 3-year-old.
Ali had been retired for years and still entertained conversations about coming out of retirement and fighting Ronda Rousey. Laila Ali was bluffing. She was bluffing then, and she's bluffing now. This is what she does. She ties her name to whatever combat sports woman is popping, and she says that she'll beat them in a fight. And then she plays victim once they respond. So we all know that Ronda Rousey was on top of her game. Once Ronda Rousey lost, Laila Ali went on a celebratory tour laughing, celebrating the fact that Ronda Rousey had lost her first and only fight.
Me train her. It's like, train Ronda Rousey. I'm like, but I thought you thought she could beat me. What happened?
So would you do that?
You can't train somebody's chin to take a punch. But for the right amount of money, yeah, we could probably make.
What does Ronda Rousey need to work on?
Oh, where do I begin? You know what I mean? I think we need to understand that in order to be the best in the world, you definitely don't ever get beat up like that in your prime, period.
No, it was pretty bad.
I remember you said the best in the world don't get beat. You still feel that way?
No. I said that?
Yeah, I thought in reference to Ronda.
Get beat the way she got beat. You know, to just get 100% taken advantage of in the ring and just look like a little rag doll in the ring, that would never happen.
Now, this is the thing that people wanna overlook. She's supposed to be so classy and supposed to be so, above everything. But look at these interviews here where she's clearly laughing at Ronda, discrediting Ronda, talking about how you can't be a great and lose that bad in your prime. She just taking a dump all over her, and Ronda Rousey was really that girl. So I don't know if you guys know, but up in boxing, it takes a lot to get inside the ring. It takes a lot to prepare for a fight. And we all have a camaraderie where we don't laugh at each other when we fail, someone loses a fight. We don't kick each other when we're down. We have a good sportsmanship, and if there is any competitive spirit, it's not in a disrespectful way. The way that Laila Ali celebrated Ronda Rousey's loss was disgraceful, and it showed that she has no integrity and that she doesn't even understand how serious the sport of combat sports is. So I'm playing these clips so you guys know it's not just me that Laila Ali hates on. He hates on any woman in combat sports who starts getting more notoriety than her. In Laila Ali video, she says that I have become a disappointment and a bad representation of our sport and culture. When Colin Kaepernick started to kneel to protest racial injustice and police brutality, it was a chain reaction. The world was tired of seeing unarmed black men being gunned down and killed by the police. Everybody came together.
Yeah, it sounds like Claressa got a good PR.
Together to fight and stand united under one slogan: Black Lives Matter. Instead of joining the fight, this is what Laila Ali had to say. Play the clip.
You're black, but we as black people are not calling the shots. We're not in charge. You have to fit in. You have to conform to a certain extent, but still try to be true to yourself. You know what I mean? But at the same time, like with me, for example, I don't, a lot of times I like that I might see that are very pro-black, but I won't post it on my Facebook page because I have fans from all races, from all around the world, and I don't ever like to make people feel separate. You know, and sometimes they do, like when you just be like, Black Power, I love my, so it's like.
Oh, really? Oh.
I think it's time to I like the all lives matter. They're all lives matter, and that's kind of what my focus is. But it's hard, because, you got sponsors and you got this and you got that, and you don't want to step on anybody's toes.
You said you don't want to speak out because you don't want to lose sponsorships and you don't want to upset your different fans. Your father, Muhammad Ali, used his platform to stand up against oppression. To me, it doesn't seem like you're proud to be who you are or to be the daughter of the great Muhammad Ali. For those saying that Laila Ali YouTube hate documentary that she did was classy, that wasn't classy. That was mean girl energy. Ooh. She was being nice, nasty. Ooh. She's always wanted to hate on me out loud, and now she's doing it proud and with her chest out to promote a YouTube channel. Oh. Now, in Laila Ali hate documentary, She says that her dad would never want his name tied to mine, and that he did not like the fact that I called myself woke. Well,
too bad.
Lie detector test tells us that that was a lie. Play the clip.
Call yourself the GOAT, that's fine. It's flattering. You look up to my father. We both thought that was cute. That was sweet.
5 minutes later.
My father would not want to share his name or image with her. She does not represent anything about him in the ring or outside.
The champ is here! The champ is here!
Layla, did you forget that you told me that your dad was flattered and proud that I called myself the GOAT? Laila Ali says that I lied about what transpired when she asked me to spar.
Now you know that was a flat out lie.
Play the clip.
Do you think Ronda Rousey?
Y'all, this too much. But this is what boxers do. So we're going to continue. Because I want them to fight. And if this is how it goes, this is how it goes, y'all. Hold on. Was Claressa done? Because Claressa had some receipts.
Just as I promised, I'm bringing you part 2 of Set the Record Straight. Now, if you haven't already watched part 1, I suggest you go back and do so.
Oh, so this is the YouTube channel that Claressa is talking about. So this is what she's trying to promote. Laila Ali KO. This is her new YouTube channel. So go follow Laila Ali new YouTube channel, KO. You know, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? This is what they got to do to get money. This is what it comes down to. I'm looking for somebody to talk shit and beef with right now online. So we can both blow up. Anybody out there want to beef with me? Holla at your girl so we can start a beef and we can blow up.
So you'll understand why I needed to go to these lengths to lay the truth out once and for all. For years, I've been characterized as unsupportive, as being a hater, envious of her success, and as someone who disrespected her so badly. Now, in part 1, I discussed the past, what was said from both of us on both sides. I showed the brunt of what came out of each of our mouths. Nothing was twisted, nothing was taken out of context, just the truth of what was said. I also showed how she even tried to use my father's name to discredit me. Pretty unthinkable. Hopefully, you went and watched the full versions of the clips I shared in part 1, just as I suggested, because they're on YouTube. Now, I want to take just a second to thank those of you that left supportive comments. Even if you judge the situation wrongly and see the truth now, I understand how it may have seemed. Multiple people have reached out to me privately, sharing their experiences, and are so relieved that someone finally exposed the truth about how she operates. Now, I know you know my style by now, facts versus feelings. Like I said in part 1, I'm not about the he say, she say. I've stayed focused on the exact allegations that were made against me, and I showed you the directly related receipts. Now, part 2 is about the present. She always repeats the same tactics, just in a new situation. We're dealing with the same person who plays the victim card, makes up lies, deliberately twists my words, and creates a false narrative. Look, she fooled the public before, so she feels like she could just keep it going. Now, before I get into part 2, let me just remind you who we're talking about here.
Jump right to it since you brought her up. Laila Ali.
I always knew that Laila wasn't intimidated by, you know, and she may have not ever said nothing, but I always knew that she questioned who was the better fighter between me and her. Because I have a better amateur background and now a better professional background. So I know that she always kind of felt a little threatened, but from when I first met her, I always knew that, you know, she don't love boxing.
What does being the GOAT mean to you?
Of course, it got all the accomplishments and, you know, all the belts and everything like that. But it also means, like, to me, just making a blueprint for the women that's coming up behind me, the original way.
You know, there's a lot of girls who use boxing to promote their with their modeling career, to be in a magazine or something. But I use boxing for boxing, and it promotes. And boxing is my brand. It's just like I'm not trying to use boxing to promote something else. to help me with something else.
Having like, I'm really building a blueprint where I can tell other girls like listen, if you do this, this is what can happen. Yeah. If you build your brand like this is the direction that it can go. If you build it like that, it can go this way. I feel like I just want to get like somehow the brands look for an athlete to where I get the $20 million payday to represent, you know, one of these big brands or something like that. You have to have like I don't know if it's a certain look or a certain tone or a certain, you know,
I think if you
story,
just continue to be you.
Of course, being like a great person, being a great role model. Marshall a bitch, that's it. She's a bitch, and she's gonna keep being one. She's a hater. She wish she was me. She wish she had the belts, the gold medals, and she don't want to be me. She wish she was black and everything. It's just sad.
I tried to tell her in the past, brand deals don't come from pretending to be someone you're not. They come from character, integrity, and consistency. That's the work she needs to do. So while she's tried to paint my success beyond the ring in a negative light, the truth is I've accomplished what I set out to do in the ring, and I moved on to build a life and a career using all of my other talents. Now she's acting as if she's an expert on how to build a brand, mentoring others on it as if she has all the answers, when in reality, she's still trying to figure it out for herself. And she's doing this because she wants to figure out how she needs to look, how she needs to act, how she needs to talk, who she needs to become in order to make some money and get some brand deals. Okay, let's get into this. She's decided to once again call me out with a $15 million challenge. She's using the same playbook as last time, taking something I said, twisting it, and turning it into a false story, then going on a PR campaign to promote it. Let's take a look at how this all came about. I recently co-hosted a historic women's boxing event on Netflix, the Katie Taylor versus Amanda Serrano trilogy fight in Madison Square Garden. Millions of viewers tuned in, and there were great matchups on the undercard. Now, after the event, I did an impromptu interview to discuss the fighters and how electrifying the night was for women's boxing.
And both of them much to be proud of. They're both great warriors. And this is a big night for women's boxing. And hopefully it's just the beginning.
And she threw a 1-2 every single time, but that 1-2 was going like straight and she was already over here.
I'm sorry, I didn't cut you off.
No, it's okay.
But I know where you're going with it. We can easily pick either of them apart, right? But the thing is, I think Amanda was trying to just be busy. I'm almost done, guys. Last question.
Yeah.
Last one, Claressa Shields. There's rumors that you're going to come back and fight. What? Everybody's talking about it.
You know, the rumor that I heard was that I said that unless somebody had 15, 20 million, don't even call.
Turkey has that money. Turkey's going to spend the
I said, unless somebody calls me and says they have it, we're not even going to have a conversation. I'm not trying to come back and fight. But if someone offers that kind of money, I would actually have to think about it.
Thank you.
Unfortunately, what I didn't find out until later was that the questions that I kindly answered were going to be turned into a calculated headline created for clickbait. Not the first time this has happened. Ever since I retired from the boxing ring, I've received offers to come back. Everything from exhibitions to fighting whoever I want and me naming my price. I've never really been just sitting around seriously trying to come back to boxing. I have a TV hosting career. I speak on stages around the globe. I have successful companies that I own. I'm a wife, a full-time mom. I'm raising teenagers. I'm busy and fulfilled. During that quick fight blog interview, I addressed the rumor that the interviewer brought up. He had his facts wrong, so I corrected him and I said I wasn't trying to make a comeback. But if somebody offered me $15 to $20 million, I would have to think about it. Who wouldn't? That's a lot of money. But saying that I would think about it and saying I would actually do it is not the same. Words matter. After he posts the video, he starts sending my business partner text messages, literally trying to negotiate a fight without my knowledge or consent, while at the same time my team was being inundated with a barrage of emails and text messages and calls from her team trying to make a fight. Now at this point, it started to feel like a money grab scheme. Next thing you know, about 6 days later or so, the same fight blog puts out the fake check video. You can go watch it on YouTube.
What's up, Layla? You trying to fight? I'm the GOAT. I bet 15 million up right now. Where you at? Speaking of GOAT, have you tried my new GOAT seasoning? It's knockout blends with spices and herbs. Don't try to get quiet now. Yeah, that's what I thought. Have you guys seen my new cooking show? Episode 2 drops on Friday. Meet me in the ring. Honey, already got one of those. You know what? I'll find somewhere else to fight. Who want a piece of me? Oh, my ears are ringing.
That was hilarious when I saw it, and that's exactly what's been going on. And you know what? Rosie, that super talented young lady, is a comedian. You can go check out her Instagram page. Now, that was her perception of the situation. She's actually a fan of both of us. You can go to her page and see that. She wasn't taking sides. She's just doing a funny reenactment of what she perceives to be going on. And this is exactly why it's so important to me that we carry ourselves in a respectable manner, because young girls are always watching us. So while all of this foolishness was going on, I was overseas on summer vacation with my family. She was once again calling me out, twisting the story of what I said on the Fight blog. Then she says it was another golden opportunity.
I was very shocked to still see her even speak of me, speak of me, speak of me.
There goes the twist. I did not speak of her or mention her in that interview.
I've been let that dream go of fighting her a long, long time ago. But when I seen that, I'm like, you know what? Another golden opportunity to make a fight with me and Laila Ali. Got it? If she want 15 million, we got 15 million. Take this 15 million and come get your ass whooped.
Do you think she even wants to fight you, or do you think that she just threw that number out there just to save face?
In a way, sometimes I think she tried to price herself out, but it was like, it's better if she just don't say anything about that. You know, it's better if she say, oh, I'm retired, I'm the best, you know, be on that high and mighty high horse that she's always on and stay on that. When you get off that high horse and now you realize that you're normal, because you are, she wants to try to make it still seem like she's somewhat relevant in women's boxing.
Oh my gosh, I didn't mention her. I clearly said I wasn't interested in making a comeback, okay? But she's out here running her own storyline once again. It was never gonna stop. Let me just say this. There is no way in my prime, with all the accolades, that I'd be trying to prove that I'm the greatest by being obsessed with fighting a nearly 48-year-old retired fighter who's been out the ring almost 20 years, while in the same breath claiming that she's irrelevant and she's untalented, while simultaneously coming up with $15 million for her within a matter of about 6 days. Please make it make sense. So she continues on her one-woman show, proceeding to try to bait me out of retirement. She's on social saying that she's the greatest now and she's gonna put me on my back. She's going on national shows spewing her usual narrative and saying that I said that if she came up with 15 million, I'd return to boxing.
You come out and say, oh, the rumor I heard is if Claressa got 15, 20 million, then I got your 15 million. Now what?
You call it a bluff. You called a bluff, Claressa.
Yeah, and we are still waiting to hear a response.
What would you be proving by fighting and ultimately beating her if you went in there with her?
Just be proving to her that I'm a better fighter than her. That's all that really matters to me.
Do you realize now that this girl has been shadow boxing this whole time? I'm not in this with her. She has something to prove, not me. This is in her head.
It's about the disrespect that she gives toward me. And I worked my butt off to get to where I am without having a famous father to get to where I am and to raise the bar for women's boxing. That's my issue with her. And if we were to fight each other in our primes, I would have still won. I would have knocked her out.
Everyone knows this woman has not been able to bust a grape up until now. It's actually hilarious to hear her talk about knocking me out. She'd be better off saying she'd outbox me or she'd run me out the ring or something like that. But knock me out? Imagine that. No, really, imagine that. Look, I get it. She's obsessed with my knockout percentage. But at this point, she needs to stop promising these knockouts and focus on her own strengths, because that's not one of them, and that's okay. So I ignored her PR stunts the same way I always have. They never got a response from me regarding a fight. So then she decides to throw a couple more lies into the story.
Hey Claressa, how you doing today?
Laila and her representatives has told us no. Like the answer is no, she doesn't want to fight, and that's fine. I have no problem with that. You know what I'm saying? I understand that she's scared. I'm moving on with my career and I'm happy that she said no. I really didn't want to have to put the pause on her anyway. You know, she wants to be like in the public and keep her name tied to mine because I'm young and popping. But I'm Claressa Shields, and right now it's my time. And she wants to keep her name connected to mine to keep, you know, selling whatever she's selling.
You know, clout thing, using your name.
It's absolutely clout.
Do you think she's scared to fight you?
Laila is scared to fight me, and I would be scared to fight me too. I get it.
Now she knows I'm not afraid of her. Nobody is. AB fights at 130 pounds, and she was willing to face her. Franchon gave her a tough fight and has been calling her out ever since. She's 1-1 with Marshall, who's eager for a rematch. Gabriel's dropped her and has been calling her out too. Shadeja Green would be a great matchup, and she's on her hit list. Even MMA champion Chris Cyborg wants to step into the boxing ring to face her. 54-year-old Chevelle Hallback has been issuing challenges. Nobody is scared of her.
We're in a generation now where the women fight each other.
Yeah.
We don't duck each other. And back in her generation, that's all she did. So I'm sorry to disappoint you, but that's y'all champion.
Oh, but later that same day, wearing that same outfit, she says this.
She hasn't responded. He hasn't responded, and I feel like the answer is like a no.
All right, I know the lies. She never got an answer. And I know they wanted to create this narrative that I was scared and she lost track of her message points for the day. She says I've been using her name to stay relevant because she's popping and I just want to keep my name attached to hers.
Ali, Laila 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 Ali is Ali, Laila is Laila Ali. And Laila Ali. Laila Ali. But Laila is Laila. Me and Laila, Laila Ali. Laila Ali.
And I didn't respond to her stunts at all. Y'all know? Now you heard her say out her own mouth she was moving on, that I was irrelevant. She didn't need me. She had so much going on, so many fights, so much money to be made. And I thought, great. But here she comes again.
Laila is first on my list. That's what I want first. Okay. But me and Laila has had some back and forth for some years now. And to me, there is no question about who the greatest woman of all time is. It's me.
It's you say. Age difference, obviously. 17 years in boxing is a significant age difference.
I think even Laila Ali in her prime couldn't beat me in the fight. And I think that she is great. She is great. You know, I think that she can fight. She's a bigger woman than me. She's taller. As you see, she's 5'11". I'm 5'8", 5'9". And she has, I mean, to say 24-0, but her record is 24-0, 21 knockouts, I believe. My record is 17-0 with, I think, 3 knockouts. Listen, Laila, it's not no hard feelings. I just want to know who the best is. And the only way to figure out who the best is to fight. We ain't got to keep talking. You don't have to keep...
Now, let me put this in perspective. This was before she lost the hope that I might fight her. So she tried to speak more respectfully and polished, and she did what her team told her. But then 2 months later, the mask came off again.
That's not going to happen.
Come on now, listen.
She turned the money down?
She did. Laila Ali is just Muhammad Ali's daughter. And
no, come on, we ain't gonna do that.
No, that is right.
Come on, Layla can rumble though.
She can't rumble like Ann Wolf. I said who's the best from that era. Ann Wolf would have knocked Laila Ali out. You know, she would have knocked Laila oh so pretty ass out. Laila oh so pretty ass out. That's the truth.
Now that was the real her. I've never been concerned with who was regarded as the best or the greatest or who had the most accolades or titles. I really haven't.
You've competed on so many high levels. What's it feel like to be an undefeated champ?
It feels good. I mean, anytime I think you work hard at your skill, you guys know how that is.
Absolutely.
And to be able to reach that level, you know, that peak of being one of the best, it's an amazing feeling. So,
or the best.
Yeah.
Or the best.
Yeah. Well, you know, I'm happy just being one of. My father always said he was the best. That wasn't really my thing. My thing is I want to be the best in my weight class. I want to be undefeated, and I want to be a world champion. And those things I attain. So call it what you want to.
Amen.
So, yeah.
I will say, becoming a BC champion, like my father and so many greats before him, was an accomplishment that I will always be proud of. Every female fighter who wins a WBC title receives her belt with my face displayed on it. Now that truly is something special to me. So, did her plan?
No, that was a great comeback, y'all. And just in case you didn't understand, every belt that Claressa Shields has Laila Ali. I don't know if it's her picture or just her name.
Work. Did she?
So call it what you want to.
Amen.
So, yeah.
I will say, becoming a WBC champion like my father and so many greats before him was an accomplishment that I will always be proud of. Every female fighter who wins a WBC title receives her belt with my face displayed on it. Now that truly is special to me. So, did her plan work? Did she make me mad enough to come out of retirement after 18 years and start training again to make her dream of fighting me and having a big payday courtesy of Laila Ali come true? Absolutely not. After years of blatant lies and vile disrespect, making unsolicited negative remarks about me, questioning the legitimacy of my boxing legacy, and having the audacity to cross the line by disrespecting my deceased father, trying to use his name to discredit his daughter.
Listen, Muhammad Ali would never. Her daddy would never. Her daddy would never. Maybe she don't have that in her genes.
She will not be rewarded with the opportunity to share the ring with me or anything else. There's your answer. When I was still active, I held boxing in the highest regard. It's what I did full time. I put all of my energy and focus into it. I wasn't distracted, trying to do a little of this and a little of that. I was locked in, dedicated, disciplined, mastering my craft. I had the best of the best, excellent trainers, including Buddy McGirt, Roger Mayweather, Floyd Mayweather Sr., who all held me to a very high standard. Boxing is in my DNA, and it will always be my first love. Now, after all this she's put me through, I would never partner or collaborate with her on anything. Now, I've seen some comments from people saying, she's been so quiet, ever since I put out part 1. Maybe she's finally gonna take some responsibility and try to do better. But in reality, she's been running her same predictable playbook, misleading and deceiving the public. Her team has been busy trying to clean up the mess she's made over these years. They're literally running paid online ads with old footage of her signing her first contract and touting the Bible. Will she be taking any responsibility for her actions or just keep pretending? The bottom line is, she crossed a line that can never be uncrossed. She showed me and the world who she really is. And like Maya Angelou said, when someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time. Now, just as I told her many years ago when she reached out to me for advice and I gave it to her freely, I encouraged her to build a brand on integrity and respect and surround herself with good people.
Laila Ali told me to build my brand, a good brand, and a brand that I want to represent and stand for. And she said, have good people behind me who I trust, Laila Ali.
As a boxer, I was unapologetically confident and I believed I couldn't be beaten. And I proved it every time I stepped into the ring. As an entrepreneur, I've consistently carried that same mindset forward through the brand and the businesses that I've built from the ground up. Let's get real laser focused for a moment. It all started back in 2018 when I went on The Breakfast Club to promote my cookbook. Her record was 8-0 with 2 knockouts. Now remember, she and I were on good terms at the time. I even mentioned her and said nice things about her. Now, during the interview, I was asked, would I make a comeback to boxing? I said I wasn't planning on making a comeback, and I didn't feel there was anyone out there who would give me a real challenge. That's how I felt. Well, she heard that and got in her feelings because she felt that I should see her as a challenge.
Her saying, oh, there's not nobody good enough at 168, my weight class, that could give her a challenge when I'm the number 1 in my weight class. And, I'm just like, nah. Like, I'm the best female boxer that I've ever seen. And, if Laila Ali wants to come back, we can rumble. We can go. You're not going to come back and beat me. You know what I'm saying? Like, this can happen. I just don't like the disrespect. I never used her name to try to be like, try to call her out of retirement. It's basically like she talking about she come out of retirement. She just going to beat me if she decided to. And people think that I started to beat her.
How did the relationship sour?
She goes on this interview and says, oh, I would come out of retirement, but there's no one good enough to give me a challenge.
So the one thing we both agree on is how this started. Now let me tell you why I didn't see her as a challenge. At the time, I had been retired from boxing about 11 or 12 years. 24-0, 21 knockouts, 5 world titles, right? I literally retired from boxing because I ran out of competition. It's public information. I would have to be inspired to make a comeback, and I didn't see anybody out there that I was inspired by, including her. I know she's an Olympic gold medalist, but let's not forget, in Olympic boxing, you're going up against amateurs, not professionals. I saw her fight as an amateur, and I saw her fight as a professional, and I didn't feel that she would be competition for me. In fact, you know what? Let her tell you exactly what I mean.
You mentioned you would knock Breakus out.
Yes, I would.
You only have 2 knockouts in 10 fights.
Yep.
Why is that?
Because women only go too many rounds.
All of the women who have been collecting knockouts got them in 2-minute rounds.
That's the main reason. As you've seen from my last fight, me turning pro with only 10 fights, you have to learn how to fight as a professional fighter. And when I came from the amateurs to the pros, I thought everything was the same. I'm like, I'm gonna do the same stuff I did in the amateurs. But training with Coach John David showed me that amateur boxing compared to professional boxing and punching is completely different. Amateur boxing compared to professional boxing and punching is completely different. These last 2 years, he has shown me so much. And from when you see my fight against Hammer, we only worked together for maybe 6 months. And then you see my fight with Habazine, just the body shots, how I can pick my shots now, how powerful and sharp I am. All that had to be changed. So when it comes to the knockouts, one, I've stunned every girl I've ever boxed against out of my 10 fights. Toward the end of the round, middle of the round, but when they only have to get beat up for 2 minutes and then go back and rest for a minute, it's not enough time for me to break them down some more.
She's still trying to learn how to put her punches together and fight like a professional. I've been knocking opponents out since my pro debut, my very first fight. I have more knockouts than she has wins. She started all of this with me because I didn't see her as a challenge for me. Here we are in 2025. And she's only added 1 more knockout. She's still trying to learn how to throw her punches and fight like a professional.
I think that I'm so good that I'm hard on myself because I should be knocking these girls out. If I can go in there and win unanimous decisions, I'm always asking myself after the fight, why didn't you get the knockout? How come didn't the knockout come? I got all the skills and the power and everything. I just have to figure it out and put it all together. I would have knocked her out. I really want to become the full potential fighter that I want to be. Like, I think people now, like, you know, you talking about full potential, you got 13 real titles, like, how much more greater can you be? It's like, I can start sleeping people, you know? I can get some knockouts on my record.
Yeah, she can knock me out. Now, maybe someday she'll discover her own identity and who she is truly meant to be without riding my coattails or the Ali name. I am one of one, and this lane is closed.
So they fighting and all. That was long. Claressa and Laila Ali. Y'all gotta fight now. This is deep. Y'all got so many receipts. Y'all got too much time invested. If Laila, if you're not gonna fight, you can at least train up someone to fight Claressa or someone in your place. Something's gonna have to happen. You got a daughter, a niece, something, because you deserve to get in that. All the stuff that you've been talking, you deserve to be in that ring. And I'm sorry. So you guys, if they step into the ring, I'm gonna buy popcorn. I'm going. But make sure it's salted. Because yes, sis, you are right. We need a whole bunch of seasoning. Because I don't think the fight's gonna happen, but I really hope that it does. All right, fam. That's our run for today. TGIF. We covered rap beef, diaspora flex, our queens in music and in the ring, and how Black women in the workforce, and I did not even mention that. I forgot to talk about the 36% of Black women that's unemployed right now. But that's a whole nother video. So if this resonates with you guys, drop a fire in the chat. Tag somebody who needs to hear this. I'm going to be more consistent and more reliable because now my internet is not a problem, you guys. So make sure you share, subscribe, all that good stuff. I am Bella. You're tuned into Black Cultures Lit TV, where I keep it real, I keep it raw, I keep it relevant. Stay proud, stay strong, and remember, our culture ain't just lit, it's unbreakable. Until next time, peace, love, and power.